Another day, another cast for East Coast Gaming. Good evening, everybody. Or, you know what? I won't even say good evening. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ito, and I'm here to bring you East Coast Gaming versus a lovely team name here. Choked 12-3 for an IM spot. See, I don't... As a caster, I don't exactly know how to think of a smooth way to say this name. So I'm just going to go with choked. You know, maybe choked is probably the easiest one to go by, but both these teams, at the time that this game was played, had a pretty decent run in the season so far. I believe both of these teams got off to a 2-0 start. And, well, because of that, again, a nice little 2-0 matchup can really kind of decide how this match is going to be going, how the season is going to be going, excuse me, for both sides of the equation here. Now, on overpass, we're going to have choke 12-3 for an IM spot on the T side here, aggressing immediately over towards connector as their teammate Gradients dies over towards mid. So already knocked down a peg. Definitely not the start that they're looking for here. But East Coast Gaming are not going to take that sitting down here. They want to extend. They actually want to go for a little bit more here. Mac peeking out for another. Will actually give a kill up towards Hornet here. Mac, although peeking from sight here, will eventually meet his demise. Hornet still actually peeking for more here. He is so dangerously going for these kills, and it works out perfectly. Somehow stays alive through it all. Ball every day and Lift are both able to find frags as well, and East Coast Gaming, they'll go up on one. I have to say, East Coast Gaming have had a really, really solid track record this entire season so far on getting their pistols. I can't exactly think of one that they have actually lost. So, you know, that's always a good little sign. And also have been able to convert these second rounds just as easily. And considering choke 12-3 for 12... Bleh, I'm just going to call them choked. Again, I keep forgetting that. Considering choked, I mean, they have almost zero invested into this. Hell, I actually think there is almost zero. Yeah, I mean, there's $800 for a Deagle. What can you really expect from something like this? Maybe not a jumping Glock shot from Gradients, but nevertheless, that is the reality that we're staring down the barrel of. East Coast Gaming will be able to smooth things out here and win this second round. So, you know, expected. Not anything too crazy. Third round bye is what I'm really more excited for here, because this is going to be the first gun round of many in this game. That being said, there are still a couple of question marks. Again, East Coast Gaming can't really afford to buy up some more M4s. They have two in play at the moment, plus a FAMAS and an MP9. But against, you know, 4 AKs and a Galil, this is going to be a bit of a lukewarm attempt. Also important to mention that Juke buying up that Deagle last round actually was the big thing that ruined his chance of buying a AK in this round here. So definitely we're expecting a little bit more out of that round, but the only one to find a kill for choked in that last round was, I believe, Gradients with a jumping Glock shot. So, you know, maybe the Deagle wasn't exactly worth the investment. Still, though, 4 AKs should be able to get this job done and put them in a comfortable position. Kind of a bonus round, I suppose you could say, for East Coast Gaming. I mean, this is a bit of a tricky position. This is always one of the most awkward rounds of the game, just because, I mean, really anything can happen. Smoke down, pushing up towards long. Dankus Tadpole finds one, caught off guard. Lift will go ahead, repeat, try to go ahead and stem the wound a little bit here, but he's traded out just as quickly. Bomb surely to get planted in just a couple of seconds for choked. Indeed, they will get it down. Towards bathrooms, ball every day. Already on a quick flank here. Is going to try to catch Gradients off guard, but unfortunately can't quite connect the shots with the MP9. And that's where that MP9 can really come back to bite them here. Again, they're trying to treat this one a little bit as a bonus round, and unfortunately they just didn't exactly have the money to commit to a better buy, get those M4s in hand, and because of that, their money is going to be in absolute tatters after this one. Again, it does make sense in a lot of ways that this was the first round that they dropped, just because, again, when you look at that sheer artillery, it doesn't exactly inspire a ton of confidence, but, I mean, they got it decently close at some points. I mean, they're on for a retake here. In a perfect world, I think that they should just go ahead and try to save that M4, because now Hornet, who had the M4A1, only stuck on Deagle duty at the moment. Not that they're any slouch They're pretty nutty with almost any gun that you give them, but I'm sure that they would be even happier with an M4 in hand here. But force up nonetheless for East Coast Gaming, excuse me. And that bought up M4 is actually already coming into play. Dinkus Tadpole caught out with his MAC-10. Probably the most pliable person you could have given up early. It's a bit of information given to Choked. What they actually plan to do with it, though, is another situation entirely. I mean, they're down a player, and East Coast Gaming are untouched. Yeah, really awkward situation for Choked. I mean, their best bet, I guess, is just going to be trying to set up for an execute onto the B bomb site here, but there's already 3 players at the ready here. Ball Everyday is in such a strong position, but he's actually holding a little bit more passive here, trying to dance around the pillar. Hornet is going to be able to find the first, actually with that Deagle in hand. Now Ball Everyday, his big goal is just to try to stay alive. His teammates are finding all the kills at the moment here. This round is an absolute disaster. East Coast Gaming are just absolutely slaughtering every member of Choked, and really, Radiance can't even find a kill to try to at least wiggle his way back into this round. He's going to be stuck in a 1-on-5 and get 1 kill for his trouble, but 20 seconds remaining and 5 HP to speak of. Basically means that he's dead in the water right now, and let me just put it this way. He's already located in water. Now it's time for the first part of that statement to come true. 5 seconds. East Coast Gaming probably going to look to close this distance after the time is over, but the situation is forced. And the kill is actually brought to them a bit quicker than they might have expected or wanted. Quiet start so far. I mean, that was a bit strange. East Coast Gaming managed to convert that one. And honestly, it was players like Hornet and honestly the Deagles in its entirety were pretty huge there. You know, I mean, Hornet picking up that one onto the B bomb site here. Is this a very lukewarm execute from Choked? To be totally honest here. Ball Everyday did a fantastic job at kind of peeling and staying alive for as long as he could. Considering that, I guess he was just kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, just making sure not to give up that gun. Not to give up his body. It's pretty huge news in of itself, so great things to look forward to. And East Coast Gaming surely are going to be able to convert this one as well. Although there is a FAMAS in the mix, otherwise it is a pristine buy for East Coast Gaming. They even have lots of util to speak of, although some of it has been expended over towards mid here. It's still going to be worth its weight in gold, because they can try to grasp for some information. Hornet regularly plays over towards bathrooms right now. Usually not this passive, but it looks like it's working out for him just fine. AJ and Hornet both find kills, and although AJ has fallen, Hornet, I was going to say, is in a great position to maybe close this one out, but unfortunately that doesn't seem to be the case. Lift is quick on the rotate, and we'll be able to find 2. Third one, surely in his crosshairs soon enough. Dinkus Tadpole, all he can do is back up. He has a bomb in his hand, but no armor and 85 points of health. Doesn't exactly scream a winnable round to me. Well, if he can escalate his fights, actually, maybe he has a decent chance, but I think he's actually been spotted. Doesn't look like he has. So Dinkus Tadpole, maybe if he gets lucky with timing, he surely has spotted that player over towards default. Now he has for certain, but Lift will just collect his triple kill of the round. And East Coast Gaming, look at that, 4-1. I was a bit scared at some points after both Hornet and AJ, excuse me, went down. But, you know, Choked couldn't quite convert it with the Deagles. Kind of expected. I mean, they are only Deagles after all. So things continue to look a lot more of the same. Tees will fully buy into this one here. And we're seeing some AWPs come out at last. I say AWPs, but it's actually just a singular one. Dinkus Tadpole already delivering with it, though. We'll be able to find the first here, and that will actually lead the team to start pushing up over towards a B bomb site here. 1-for-1 trades over on the site. Ends up favoring Choked by a very decent margin. 4-on-2. The bomb has yet to go down, but they might not even need to have the bomb go down. Gradients finds another onto Hornet. AJ quickly left by his lonesome here. We'll have to either pull off a miracle of a retake, or just go ahead and give this one up, call it a day, and save that M4. Probably is going to be his safest and wisest move to do at this point here. Because if AJ were to give up this M4, he is not going to have enough money to buy another one. 1,400 into their pockets at the moment. Everybody else should be able to at least afford a decent buy. It is a bit of kind of a weird scenario for them. Surely they're going to be buying up here, but I think Mac might be stuck on maybe MP9 duty. Yeah, MP9 or maybe a FAMAS. Depends on how much utility he wants to get, but either way, East Coast Gaming, what I'm really trying to say is that there are going to be a couple of handicaps in their way. So this shouldn't be another easy conversion. But they've done more with a little bit less, East Coast Gaming. Again, they got this same thing done when they had 2 Deagles in play. So I'd say it's kind of far from impossible. I think as Tadpole going to be looking for an early kill yet again over towards B. Nothing is going to be given to him super early on here, so he's going to have to aggress and actually earn that reward if he wants it. Water Control, meanwhile, is seized from East Coast Gaming. A bit of a switch up already. You're seeing some adjustments being made from the CTs, and well, I'm not sure if it's going to be their recipe for success, but it's already pretty telling what they have going for them here. I think Kratos is watching. Yeah. Is he going to be aware of Mac actually holding the left side of this water tunnel? He might not. The timing isn't quite there. That being said, though, I think his Tadpole is still in with that AWP. Searching more aggro and aggro as time goes by. I'm all in towards barrels. Is this going to give away a position more than anything else here? A piece of counter utility from the CTs will just buy them a little bit more time. Execute begins and 2 kills go the way of the CTs, but 2 right back from Juke will again make this an even scenario here. Bomb will get picked up here, and are they actually going to go ahead and finish over towards the B bomb site? This might be a very, very dangerous gamble to go ahead and do here, but it seems that they're up for the challenge here. They're poker players, aren't they? AJ with a triple kill, and Ball every day, and Mac will also pick up kills to make this a very solid round for East Coast Gaming. Again, I said that they've done more with less, and East Coast Gaming, no matter what they have, they're able to make it work out. At the same time, you can be a little bit confused. Maybe confused isn't the word, but a little bit concerned with the fact that Choked really seemed comfortable with ending B there, despite them finding 2 really solid trades over towards B. They probably should have realized that, hey, maybe A is going to be a bit of a cleaner opportunity for us, but alas, that doesn't seem to come into play whatsoever. Quicker play over towards B. Definitely it's going to be more up their alley, though. Bit of a whiff spray, and, well, okay, the round's over. That was a bit anticlimactic. I was going to say, it was already doing the T's rather good, the fact that they're able to rush in and get the bomb down. If they were to play time effectively, yeah, they'd be in a great position, but unfortunately, some people caught with their pants down. Means that East Coast Gaming are going to be able to run away with that one. So 6-2 we go. It's looking better and better. Choked. Despite getting the bomb down there, that was a pretty big investment that they had in the round. So, I mean, again, they're not going to have the most money to speak of here. 7-2 is looking awfully likely at the moment here, but let's not count our chickens before they hatch, because you never know. This is the ESEA Open. Anything can happen, for better or worse. Hornet, although tap down, we'll be able to trade a kill, excuse me. Mac is also getting tagged up, but 2 kills for a little bit of damage. Not terrible from Chokes, but it's not the numbers that they're looking for here. They're doing damage numbers, but not actually getting those kill numbers. Stuck between a rock and a hard place here. Conversions should still come through. Radiant's now peeking out over towards long. We'll just go ahead and maybe buy a little bit of time for his teammates. AJ tries to hit the miracle flick shot here. Not given an opportunity. Juke might give him another one. Although he backs off the angle here. AJ is yet to do the same. Good shot on the gradient. Puts him down to 21. I mean, East Coast Gaming are dealing with this situation pretty effectively. It was a bit risky for them to go for early aggression like that, but the fact that they found 2 kills and then just kind of backed up to the site was huge. I mean, it was actually game-changing. Oh, man. AJ, Hornet, both finding kills, too. It's a frag fest for the lads. That is the first time I've ever sneezed during a broadcast here. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze real quick. But as that is finally taken care of here, Choked will have finally taken care of their eco a little bit more, and you see double ops coming into play. Dinkus, Tadpole, and Gradients going ahead and being the wielders of the snipers up against AJ, who, although it looks like he's taking fall damage, should still be able to be effective with it. No, the spawn isn't quite there. Every time that Choked have gotten that 4 versus 5 early on, they've been able to convert it with a pretty decent success rate. Now we're only looking at a 2-round sample size, sure, but at least they have that going for them here. I'm trying to think of positives for Choke 12-3 at the moment, but there's not really many. Juke. Oh, trying to spot players as they cross here. Nothing. No early frags given to Choked, to be completely, totally honest. Mac, does he actually spray down and get that other player as well? Oh my lord. Oh my lord, what a round from him. He gets the quad, finishes up with a nice little nade. And, well, East Coast Gaming, they deal that one rather pleasantly, don't they? It really does feel like a lot of the time Choke 12-3 are just focusing way too much on trying to make a B exec happen. I mean, kind of hard to disagree with the results, you know? I mean, it does definitely seem to be the case. I'd be disagreeing with no one but myself, but I mean, Choke 12-3, it seems that on ecos they really seem to favor trying to take it in towards B. And on full gun rounds, they always want to try to, or excuse me, on eco rounds, they try to take it towards A, excuse me. And on gun rounds, they always want to finish over towards B. They're forcing these really unfortunate executes, and, well, it's leading to them getting executed. Most definitely. Kratos and Gradients. Last two Guardians of the round. Kratos is going to be able to find one kill before he's brought to the grave. Gradients has made a bit of noise on the A bomb site here. AJ surely has to hear this by now, right? Indeed he does. But Gradients is actually in a bit of a winnable position if he can force a fight right here. Knows where the first is, over by jump up, and is trying to force another duel. Has a smoke in play. He should be tossing that one out. The fact that he doesn't basically just makes him a free kill from any which angle that East Coast Gaming wanted to push from. Yeah, that wasn't exactly the hardest task for East Coast Gaming to win, isn't it? 9-2. This is an absolute slaughter on Overpass at the moment. The CTs really haven't been contested all too much. And one of the few things that have been going for Choked is that when they've gotten those 4v5s, they've been able to convert them. But as we saw in, I believe, round 10, was it? That doesn't even seem to be the case anymore. Definitely still is our best bet, obviously. Finding that first kill, forcing a 4v5. It makes sense mathematically that that would be probably the easiest way for them to actually get around on the board. But, I mean, they really seem to struggle in these mid-late rounds. Not the end of the world, though. 9-6 is theoretically possible, and that would be a lot more palatable for them. Heading on to the defense side of things. Slower default in play. Choke 12-3. Still don't exactly have any info to work off, excuse me. Smoke will go down over towards heaven, baiting out some counter util from East Coast Gaming, and I've actually never seen that smoke before, Kratos. What does that do? It's a nice little smoke over towards bridge. Toss out all the cute little smokes you want here. East Coast Gaming still have the kills. Although Gradients will go ahead and stumble upon a frag in favor of the T's. They're still a man down. 35 seconds, need to exec onto his site. AJ will be calling for rotates almost surely at this point. The cavalry's on their way, and all that AJ has to do right now is just try to stay alive. He has done his job. Now it's going to be left up to basically his teammates to get any work done. Dinkus Tadpole trades out one of the many teammates here, but I mean, AJ is still at the ready. That's why it's so big what AJ was able to do. Stay alive for such an extreme amount of time. Drag 2 rotates over, and there you have it. It's done. 10-2. It's getting worse as time goes by. Choke 12-3. tough one. Flash over. Not too much to write home about. Again, East Coast Gaming has started to slowly take water control and able to find the first kill on top of that. It's almost formulaic at this point here. East Coast Gaming are just on fire with their trades at the moment and able to get map control wherever they please. This time is a little bit different though. Look at that. Kratos is actually able to take down ball every day. That throws a bit of a spanner into the works, especially since Stinkus Tadpole finds one on top of that from a quick rotate in towards a connector. Now East Coast Gaming are suddenly knocked down a peg. They're a man down in this situation. AJ has to hold down the site, or they have to gamble towards a single site all by their lonesome, excuse me. AJ tries to find one as he's pushing into the site. It works out to an absolute T. Finds the first. 50 seconds, tries to go for the second, but no. He doesn't get the shot off. Mac needs to be quick on the rotate. Flashes in, and he needs to pull off a 1v2 now to make this utter domination still possible for his team. Giving up a third round is nothing to be ashamed of, sure, but considering the track record that East Coast Gaming have had so far, it would seem a little bit lukewarm. He finds the first, now picking up the sniper to try to go ahead, maybe take a long-range duel if he so possibly can. Molotov down, but surely Kratos will be able to convert this one out here. Mac is watching for it, but Kratos is doing a better job at it. He's just jiggling, holding the angle. There's nothing that that Mac can do other than just die to Kratos. Well played from start to finish from Choke 12-3, and Kratos has to get a 3K just to make that round happen. Again, the trades are through, but it is still pretty expensive at the end of the day for 12-3. I mean, look, after buying here, I mean, they're on $0, 3 of these players. If East Coast Gaming somehow were to retaliate and win this round in a more convincing fashion, then suddenly this last round isn't looking so shiny, so glimmery for Choke 12-3. It's not the greatest start either. Golden immediately gives up his life for the cause, and while there is a trade in play, I'm still a little bit worried about this. Perhaps I should go ahead and reserve my judgment for a little bit later. I think it's Tadpole. Picks up one on the B bomb site. Kratos with another on top. Never mind what I said. This should be 10-5. Well, pretty one-sided finish, considering how this round started out. That was a 4v5 that this time East Coast Gaming couldn't be the ones to convert. 10-4, and yeah, as I said, I mean, East Coast Gaming should be giving up the 5th one as well to the side of Choked, because their buy is going to be pretty mediocre. I mean, it's workable. They have at least that M4 in play. They have 2 FAMASes. I mean, I'm not too sure about the UMP. Depends on where AJ wants to play with it. I mean, this is a guy who usually had an AWP before. Okay, never mind. Maybe I'm a believer now. Okay, there it is. AJ even gets an upgrade out of it. Well, that couldn't really be better, couldn't it? East Coast Gaming, don't tell me they're going to somehow win this one out. Again, the trades are through, so it's looking better. But Choke 12-3 should realize what they just stumbled upon. A mid-stack means that B is probably going to be the most exposed of these 2 sites here. And although Ball Everyday is holding the corner, he is still, as expected, a little bit on the dangerous side to go for that kill. He gets it off. That's actually given a real big opportunity for East Coast Gaming. Max should be losing his life here, and indeed he does. A 2 versus 2, the El Clasico of CS. It's really all going to come down to gunplay as well, now that I think about it. One smoke on the side of the CTs could be good enough to smoke off the bomb and try to just go for a cheeky defuse. They're going to go for something a little bit more, though. They're ready to trade each other out. There's the smoke that I was thinking about coming through. Golden, spamming from heaven, has given up his position. He finds the first one, too. Oh, and actually has a right idea on where Lift is as well, and hits the spam through the smoke. A quad in the round. Golden keeps the 10-5 dream alive, and Choke 12-3. They're still in this one. That was exactly the sort of round that they needed, too. I mean, while it wasn't in the cleanest fashion, I think we can all agree on that. He still got off the win. That's monumental in its own right. Not too shabby whatsoever. 10-5 again at the half here. Choke 12-3 will now be switching over to try their hand at defending. Surely East Coast Gaming can close this one out, though. They only need 6 rounds. Again, both teams at the time that this game was played were 2-0 in the season, so they definitely have their fair share of being able to close out games. Flashes up from East Coast Gaming. Actually just pressing W onto the site itself here. Kratos will be watching, and this reminds me a lot of how East Coast Gaming were playing their CT side. You see Kratos is not really trying to force any early engagements if he can so possibly help it. That being said, East Coast Gaming don't seem to respect it. What was that shot from AJ? That's absurd. He just gets it through the smoke, takes down. God, I don't even know who that poor victim was, but I'm going to be going ahead and writing up a eulogy for them. Pretty sure it was Juke, now that I think about it. Oh, Dingus Tadpole goes for the retake. Gets a freebie. But there's no free rides, no free lunches. East Coast Gaming steal away the second pistol. Again, their pistols have been fire this season, and well, their follow-ups have been just as good as well. 5-11 with a 12th possibly on its way very, very soon. Full buy-up from East Coast Gaming. On top of that, you see that there's 2 AKs in play, a Bison, interestingly enough. We don't honestly see a lot of the Bison, but this is like the opportune time to do it. There's almost $0 invested in this round from Chokes. I thought Ball Everyday got that kill with Mac 10. I was about to be extremely surprised. There's the Bison. Speak of the devil on hand. The Mac 10's going down too, but really this is just kind of the expected result. There's only so much that you can do when you're commentating just a massacre like this. And that's just go ahead and feel good for how East Coast Gaming are going to be looking heading into this next one. East Coast Gaming should have a read that because that there's $0 invested basically across the side of the CTs, that there are going to be full guns in play from the defenders now, and possibly will have to drop their Bisons. That being said, they haven't given up on the dream just yet. They're going to be treating this one as a bit of a bonus and trying close the distance, I suppose, is one way to put it. Dinkus Tadpole M4 in play, finds one, sprays up for a ton of damage. 2 kills still go the way of East Coast Gaming. Smokes can be up too, and really this was like fantastic spot for East Coast Gaming to be in. On top of that, couldn't really be better if he tried to script it, and well, I mean, Choke, they can easily pull off this retake. They've taken down the healthy player lift. From here, it's just courtesy that they close it out. How does AJ find that kill? I have absolutely no clue. I was about ready to say, I mean, it's going to be eventually through. But nothing is certain in the ESEA Open. Except for the fact that Choke 12-3 are actually going to be able to get this round together. So, the bonus round, despite the best efforts of East Coast Gaming, won't work out into their favor. Choke 12-3 stay alive in the game. Stay alive in the game, excuse me. My voice might be cracking, but I don't think East Coast Gaming will be cracking under pressure. This round differential is just huge at the moment. I mean, they've got to be able to convert this one through. That being said, this isn't actually a good situation for the side of Choked now. Despite them winning the round, East Coast Gaming were still able to get that plant off, and because of that, they're able to afford AK-47s. Up against the the Mag 7 or Mag 7. I was right. In Dinkus Tadpole's hands and Juke with a FAMAS. I mean, just head to head, the artillery doesn't seem to match up the same. But I mean, hey, Dinkus Tadpole is getting it done nonetheless. He finds the first on the Mac, and although there is a trade elsewhere on the map, Dinkus Tadpole is still alive. He has not chosen to upgrade and try to extend for that gun. He will just still hold the line with the Mag 7. It's Choke 12-3. A very comfortable spot now. And in such a comfortable position just because look at the map control that East Coast Gaming have. It's honestly not that impressive. They started to push their way up towards bathrooms. That's definitely something to work with here. Now this is going to be much better. Molotov coming through. Now East Coast Gaming significantly have increased their odds of being able to pull this one off. But that one's a molly over towards Bank. They haven't cleared back of default. Hornet, although he gets the first kill here, they haven't accounted for Gradients. And as well as Juke too, he even gets in on some of the action. But again, it was all Gradients just holding down the site. Great spray, lifting a 1-on-2. We saw yesterday how he can clutch out a 1 versus 3, and 1 versus 2 just kind of seems like it'd be almost easier, 33% easier, but it's proving to be a bit of a challenge to even find this first duel. He's on 16 points of health, 10 seconds remaining. He either needs to die before the time expires or just go ahead and make anything that he can work. A solid position for Choke 12-3 to be in after the first part of that game. Once they found that Mag 7 kill and backed off without any scratches, really. That was like the best possible case scenario for them here, because East Coast Gaming had really lackluster map control at the time. Gradient's peeking mid. Just want to keep an eye on him because while there is an AK in the hands of East Coast, bit of an awkward situation to buy up. 2,900, is it, floating into their pockets next round? Hornet will either have to save this one or go massive with it. Either way, doesn't exactly seem like the most likely of scenarios. Oh, they're contacting up, or at least were, but 2 people have made noise. Make it 3. Yeah, they're making a decent amount of noise. Look at that. You hear rotations coming over. Choke 12-3. Again, they're in a pretty great spot to deal with this. The rotates are through. They have plenty of util in play. Kratos will toss down the smoke, get things off on a good note. And holding back default will be Kratos. Traded out by the Glock. Sure, that AK-47 doesn't work for even a single kill. It's a disaster of a round. East Coast Gaming, they give up another. And Gradients gets a quad kill through it all. Oh, man. That's what I was really worried about for East Coast Gaming. Well, I'm sure it was a misbuy from Hornet to pick up that AK in this round. It obviously didn't exactly work out nearly as much as they would have wanted, and he's going to be stuck on UMP duty for this one as a result. CT aggression, something we haven't seen from Kratos all too much. Something we haven't seen from Choked as a whole all too much. I'd say it's a welcome switch up. I mean, they're still down 4 rounds. Any interesting switch up, I'll probably go ahead and, again, throw a wrench into the plans of East Coast Gaming, especially if they're trying to exec over towards B. But the B exec is already through. Before Kratos has time to get in position, he's going to go ahead and try to force the issue. Indeed, do a fantastic job at it. He's dropped the bomb. And now East Coast Gaming are in such an awkward position. Sure, they have a man up, but again, they don't have the C4. They can't finish this round unless they want to try to get it done by elimination. They're going to need to close this distance. And although Kratos goes down, East Coast Gaming still have yet to pick up the bomb. Lift finds another. How is this working for East Coast Gaming? What a shot from Gradients on top of that. I didn't even see him flick. That is disgusting. Oh my god, please don't tell me Gradients is going to be able to get away with this one. Yeah, I think he's given up on the dream. Yo, Hana, thank you for the Twitch primer. You can now use my silly cat emote. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. As a lovely smooch for you. 1v3. Gradients. I was going to say he was saving. What? He's actually going for that? I thought he was saving. That's why I was looking at Twitch chat. Why did he go for that? It was a 1v3 with an op. Look, I'm sure he was feeling himself after hitting that first shot. That was a bit crazy, but... Speaking of crazy, is that a Negev? Yo, Comic, what's up? Oh my god, everyone's in here. Why are you guys watching an open game at 12:48 in the morning? Y'all are strange. Or in the afternoon, I should say. Dangus Tadpole. You know, that's probably the only decent place that you can hold with the Negev on this map here, so I appreciate it, but should be a quick enough cleanup for East Coast Gaming. Why am I streaming an open game at 1 p.m.? I have been solicited by East Coast Gaming to cover some of their matches, and I have some errands to do a little bit later on today, so I'm just going to go ahead and try to get this out of the way as soon as possible because, you know, I want to be studious. I want to get my job done. But hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Big smoochies. Interesting to note, though, I mean, this round is way, way closer than I figured it would have been. Somehow has gone its way into 3 versus 2, and while closing it out is obviously the hardest part of this, it's not exactly impossible if Mac gives up his life right here. Yeah, I think they've given up on the dream, though. Mac even finds the first one, and the second is just as good as that. 14 for East Coast Gaming. 2 away from closing this one out, quite obviously, but choke 12-3. I mean, they were close a number of times, especially in some of these gun rounds. Kind of feels strange. I mean, while I feel like for the most part, yeah, East Coast Gaming, this is like a expected scoreline. There have been a couple of rounds, especially in the second half, where it seemed that choke 12-3 have actually played them a little bit closer. Double snipers brought out. Bit of an interesting switch up for choke 12-3, but it doesn't work out at all. Mac literally just has to press W into the B-bomb site, and the round is as good as over. A 3v5 is basically impossible. A 2v5 even less possible. Just go ahead and save your guns for a rainy day, because forecast isn't looking too good. Juke gets one. So, you know, gets something with the MP7. Or MP9, MP7. Wrong gun. That's going to be 15 for East Coast Gaming. I mean, this will have to be a pretty momentous comeback for 12-3. Let's just hope that East Coast Gaming aren't the chokers in this case. A bit of damage towards the end is always good, though. I mean, the money isn't all perfect on the side of ECG. I mean, they're still going to be able to buy. I can't even think of that as a silver lining. There's not really a lot of silver linings going the way of choke 12-3, isn't there? I mean, 15-8, they're going to have to get a miracle together to actually make this round work out. Luckily, they saved that AWP, plus they have an M4 in the hands of Golden. That's pretty much all that they have. They're going to need to really switch something up and pull out something, I mean, miraculous. Yo, thank you, Hana, for tuning in and stopping by. Good luck on your stream, and I'll try to tune in when I get the chance. Oh, man. Choke 12-3. I mean, again, such an awkward position to be against. 7 rounds in a row. You know, I mean, like, where do you even begin with that one here? And that's only just a Force OT. I was going to say, where do you start with that one here? That's actually pretty good. Juke finds the first. I don't know how he managed to get Mac uncontested, but Mac has been constantly prodding over towards B and trying to go for aggressive picks. It worked in that last round. This time, though, the punishment and counterplay are in from the CT side. 2-for-1 trade. Choke 12-3 are actually alive in this one. They're alive, and they're sticking around for a while now. The Gradients is even watching with a sniper as well. You know what kind of shots he can hit. So this actually might be a very winnable round. Great execute in play, though. But they actually haven't checked over towards the corner. Oh, my lord, they haven't checked. Gradient is still in the picture. Juke is able to find one. A 2 versus 2. Bomb has gone... Actually, hasn't gone down. Wait, what happened to the bomb? Did they just straight up not want to actually go through with a plan? That could have been huge for them. Now they're going to be searching for frags more aggressively. Ball Every Day and AJ are stuck within... I mean, basically a rock and a hard place. They should be trying to trade each other out if they can, but Ball Every Day is too busy looking over towards C. The timing isn't into his favor, and Golden will go ahead and make this a golden opportunity. Choke 12-3, stay alive off the back of that crippled buy. That's unreal. And there's no telling what can happen in an ESEA Open game, and this is exactly why. The buy isn't much better for choke 12-3, but they don't really have a choice, do they? They're going to have to buy up every single time. God, my voice cracks. Maybe I should actually drink some water, huh? Smoke over towards mid. Gradient. That's just a shot that I expect him to hit. Again, he can hit some absolutely fire shots. It's just that sometimes he's traded out too quickly before he's able to pop off time and time again. This is one of those scenarios where he was almost traded out. He's down to 41, but he has an op, so he still can be effective for a long time coming. Again, it was on this map where Guardian got a 1 HP 1v5, so I mean, anything can happen. 1-for-1. Decent damage onto Choke 12-3. East Coast Gaming in the driver's seat at the moment here, but they're going for something a bit more risky. AJ is trying to set up for an A fake at the moment while his team is getting ready to exec over towards B, but AJ has done his part. It's really up to his team to actually go ahead and sell this fake and pull off the execute here. It finally comes through, but AJ has already gone down. Now this is going to be a lukewarm, a shadow of what this fake could have been, and it becomes slightly more awkward because of that. Man favoring for Choke 12-3. And Juke even has a perfect situation to deny the bomb plant. What a shot onto Mac. And then the conversions are there as well. It's over within the matter of a couple of seconds. Choke 12-3, they are still alive and making this one work out. They're getting better and more consistent as time goes by as well. I mean, keep in mind, their money was really poor for these past 2 rounds. They got it together twice in a row, and they're getting rewarded for their hard-worked efforts. 3 AK-47s and 4 an AWP. It really couldn't be much better at the moment. East Coast Gaming, meanwhile, stuck on pistols here. Probably are going to have almost no chance of finishing up this round here. And indeed, it seems that the proof is in the pudding. 2 kills already. And an AK retrieve from Hornet. He's going to be dead in about a second. And the round is going to be over in just a couple of seconds. Again, expected. Not something you can raise your voice at here. You can just say, oh, wow, cool, a nice couple of eco kills. But just like that, I mean, double digits for both teams. This gap is shrinking, and this comeback, which seems so momentous at one point, doesn't exactly seem impossible now. Well, I mean, not impossible, still very hard though, but they're about halfway there. That full loss bonus is fully, or is almost fully in effect from East Coast Gaming, and hell, you can just go ahead and call it fully in effect. That was an absolute slaughter. What just happened? 15 seconds into the round, 5 people are taken out. Jesus Christ, East Coast Gaming, that was their buy. Choke 12-3, that was more of the round that I wanted to see from them here. These completely obliterate the terrorist forces here. Pistols bought up for East Coast Gaming, but this is probably 12 to 13 or 15 to 13 that we're seeing at the moment. Kratos will again go for his courtesy peeks over towards mid. He's pushing a bag row. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of this one here. That is extremely risky to do, especially since you don't exactly know the economy of your enemies in arms. But since they're all going to be stuck on deagles here, I mean, they're probably going to be all sticking together. Oh my god, Kratos actually has a golden opportunity. He gets the bomb. Well, he actually tries to extend for a bit more, so the conversion is there. The trade is there. He found a wealth of information. He noticed 2 players over towards mid, so that means that they're probably setting up for what would perhaps be an AXEC. 1 player lurks in connector as well. Ball every day. Retrieving that C4 at last. AJ presumably AFK. ESEA Gaming, I guess, are perfectly content taking their time here. Doesn't seem like a round that they're going to win just from the eye test alone, much less the fact that they have an AFK player. But alas, what can you do? Stall out a little bit of time. As long as they expire before the bomb or before the timer ends, they'll be okay to buy up for this next round here. Again, full loss bonus will be in effect. So $3,400 coming into their pockets. Just want to point out real quick, 28-17 is how Gradients is doing at the moment. I didn't realize they're having such an insanely good game, but indeed, the proof is in the numbers right there. Died before bomb went out, or before that timer ran out, though. So mission accomplished, East Coast Gaming. They will have a full buy, won't get money screwed. And, well, mission also accomplished for Choke 12-3. 13-15, this game is insanely close at the moment. Sure, there have been a couple of freebie rounds that Choke 12-3 have been given, but for the most part, they've been really solid on holding down these sites as of recent. I mean, think about that B bomb site hole from just a couple of rounds back on East Coast Gaming's last gun round. That was just pure destruction. Pure destruction, excuse me. Oh my lord. I can't believe it has actually gotten this far. I mean, what was it? 15-9, 8 at one point? Christ. Okay, Hornet. Sorry, excuse me for a moment before I go over this storyline. Hornet just... he just can't keep doing that to me. Oh my lord. I'm gonna need to turn my fan on because it's getting hot in here. Flash mid. I mean, with that newfound opportunity... Again, Choke 12-3 have to split up their defense a decent amount here. This is a really fantastic spot for ECG to be in at the moment here, but it's all lost in a second. Dankest Tadpole somehow, while he's flashed, is able to get a double kill. Spray down is through. Golden just dry peeks into AJ. I don't know why that worked, but it did. Are we actually going to be going through the full 30? Hell, are we going to be actually seeing OT off of this? I mean, Choke 12-3 have nearly pulled off a comeback now. They're only one round away from being able to bring this to the full 30, and I think it just might be possible here too. Ball every day has given up his position. He's found the first kill. Dancing around the pillar will be Golden, and he just needs to hold the line for the time being. Finds a second one too. Can't quite convert the kill and doesn't. 14-15. We are actually going the full distance. That is unreal. Again, it was 15-8. I thought it was done and dusted a long time back, but Choke 12-3, I mean, they don't seem to be the chokers at the moment. ECG have now inherited that title. If ECG lose an OT, they're going to have to legally change their team name, I'm pretty sure. I think that's somewhere written in the legal documents. Choked. Couldn't really have a much better buy to speak of, too. 2 AWPs, M4s, an AK for good measure. I mean, they are absolutely loaded. East Coast Gaming. That was a 4v5 too. They got that crazy first kill courtesy of Hornet. But now they don't have that to work off of here. Water definitely seems to be the most scary menace for the CT side so far. Oh my lord, Gradients actually finds the first one as well. 4v5 again. Choke 12-3 have had a decent job, or have done a decent job at converting, especially in recent history when they've gone on this flawless streak. And now that the momentum is all in their favor, they've gotten this ball rolling. Surely they're going to be able to bring this one to OT. Smoke down from CT. Kratos is nowhere to be found. He's so far back over towards long where that molly, although it's going to buy time for ECG to take this wherever they wish, they will bring it back over towards A. Kratos has yet to budge. He still thinks that's going to be a long exec. Second kill now goes away of Dankest Tadpole. It's a 3v5. Hornet needs to close the distance, and he does! He gets the kill onto Dankest Tadpole. We're back in this one. ECG say here, and Hornet is still going. He's found a triple. He's unbelievable at the moment, and he only needs one more to bring this to 16-14. ECG, how will they convert a 3 versus 5? It's all off the back of Hornet searching for kill number 30. He is steps away from doing it. Gradients, I thought he was the big hero of this game, but it turns out Hornet is just alive and kicking this whole time. Ball every day is going to bring us to 16-14. ECG, they pull it off at the end. What an absolutely crazy finish that was. Again, he couldn't be closer if he tried to script it. That was unreal. Oh, absolutely marvelous to look at, and that was one hell of a finish. I'm starting to really like ESEA Open games. Oh my lord. Well, that's not going to be it for me just yet. Going to take a small break real quick. Probably going to have some caffeine or something. I'm kind of tired at the moment, but I'll be back for another game. This one is going to be between Glockjaw and East Coast Gaming yet again. So don't go anywhere. If you're interested in more ESEA Open, I'll be back very, very soon.